A Step into the Past Volume 23 Chapter 10. Book 23 Chapter 10, No More Hiding. When Xiang Xiaolong returned to Tingsong Villa, Qi Zishun, who is bearing a malicious agenda, welcomed him in front of the main courtyard. Your servant has something to report to manager. Feeling doubtful, Xiang Xiaolong checked, what is it? Peering to his left and right, Qi Zishun whispered, why don't we proceed to the garden before we speak further? At the garden, it is less likely to be spotted by the others. Xiang Xiaolong frowned, it is so late, who would spot us? Behaving as if he has something serious to reveal, Qi Zishun disclosed, actually, I wanted to bring manager to the garden to witness a rendezvous between two shameless individuals. Xiang Xiaolong was momentarily stunned and wondered if Dong Shuzhen was lying earlier despite swearing that she is loyal only to himself. Suppressing his voice, he quizzed, is it second mistress? Qi Zishun nodded his head, and S.A. Li too. It is all due to me paying extra attention to the movement of Guming and company, discovering that they have smuggled S.A. Li into the villa. His anger rising, Xiang Xiaolong icily hissed, lead the way. A surge of delight flashed past Qi Zishun's face and was gone the next instant. He led Xiang Xiaolong to a wide detour around the buildings, following a small path towards the rear garden. Stepping into the garden, it was all quiet and serene. The moon is shining brightly high up in the sky and there were no signs of human activity. Growing suspicious, Xiang Xiaolong interrogated, where are they? Pointing to a storage hut located far away in the corner of the rear courtyard, Qi Zishun warned, right there where we store our firewood. We must take precautions for Guming or someone else could be stationed nearby to act as a lookout. Manager, please follow me. Without waiting for Xiang Xiaolong's acknowledgement, Qi Zishun went around a bush of flowers that was planted on the left side of a pavilion within the rear garden. He is apparently trying to take a small path along the rear wall. Xiang Xiaolong can smell a rat. While it is not surprising if Dong Shuzhen and S.A. Li are still in cahoots, but given the present circumstances, coupled with him voicing his misgivings about S.A. Li and herself earlier today, it would be illogical for them to rendezvous under these constraints. As he thought further, an image of Qi Zishun's earlier delight surfaced in his brain. It is as if he cannot hide his exhilaration at successfully luring Xiang Xiaolong into a trap. 10 odd steps later, Qi Zishun noticed Xiang Xiaolong still standing at the same spot and shooed, manager, come quickly. Xiang Xiaolong gestured for him to come back and brought him to the back of a clump of small trees, explaining, there is something I do not understand. Qi Zishun asked, what is it? Pointing to something behind him, Xiang Xiaolong questioned, who is that? As Qi Zishun turned around in astonishment, Xiang Xiaolong grabbed him from behind and whisked out his dagger, pointing it at Qi Zishun's throat. He bellowed in a chilling voice, why are you lying to me? I saw second mistress in her bedroom with my own eyes. Qi Zishun begged in a quivering voice, Master Shen, please spare my life. Your servant is not aware that second mistress has returned to her room. From these words, Xiang Xiaolong knows that Qi Zishun is in a state of panic and could not tell that Xiang Xiaolong is simply fabricating a lie. Using a merciless tone, Xiang Xiaolong frostily interrogated, who is laying an ambush for me? If you dare to say you have no idea, I will instantly cut a section of your throat and let you slowly bleed till death. Qi Zishun is much more timid than what Xiang Xiaolong expected. His entire body trembling, he stammered, Master Shen, please spare my life. It is S.A. Li who forced me to do this. Recalling that Zongsun Suanhua is extremely familiar with the troop affairs, he had a brainwave and demanded, how many men did Zongsun Long send to assist S.A. Li? By now, Qi Zishun is a broken man. He quavered, so Master Shen knows about everything. Your servant recognizes his mistakes. Finally discovering the perpetuator behind S.A. Li, Xiang Xiaolong can feel his body loosening up. Without someone backing him up, Zhu Ziuchen and Dong Shuzhen would not give a about S.A. Li. In the same context, those bootlickers Gu Ming, Fu Yan, etc., would not obey his instructions. If not for his injury, he would teach Sa Li and the other swordsmen a lesson they would never forget. But if he does not use this opportunity to punish them, it would be letting these despicable cads off too easily. Pulling out Qi Zishan's belt, Xiang Xiaolong used it to tie him up securely. Tearing a portion off Qi Zishan's shirt, he made it into a ball of cloth and stuffed his big mouth with it. He then snuck out and headed towards the firewood hut in a different direction. Moving without detection and camouflaging his tracks is a daily routine he practices as a member of the Special Forces. He managed to arrive at the vicinity of the firewood hut and the enemies are none the wiser. Surveying his surrounding, Xiang Xiaolong observed that the two door panels facing the garden are slightly ajar. There were another two men laying in ambush on the roof and were armed with bows and arrows. If he had trotted down the path Qi Zishan had recommended, it would be a miracle if he did not end up with countless arrows sticking from his body. After more scrutiny, he discovered that there were men hiding in the trees as well. It is an accurate depiction of danger lurking at every corner. Xiang Xiaolong was amused and darted towards the back of the firewood hut. Using a dagger, he stealthily pried open a window at the back. Pushing the window marginally open, he stared into the hut. In a short period of time, his eyes grew accustomed to the darkness within the firewood hut. Borrowing some light from the moon, he could barely make out two men hiding in ambush behind every window, ready and waiting in anticipation. Sa Li's voice happened to sound out. What is that dog slave Qi Zishan doing? Why is he hiding there with that? Another man replied in a deep voice, something is not right. Xiang Xiaolong is not interested in the rest of the conversation. Concealing himself at a side, he lighted his fire stick and very quickly dashed to the side of the window, throwing the fire stick towards a pile of dry grass and whatnots. Cries of help can be heard from within the hut and it was a state of mayhem. The wooden doors are thrown open as several strong men pathetically staggered out and began running towards the rear courtyard exit. Xiang Xiaolong leapt out from behind the hut and fiercely roared, "Where do you think you are going?" Identifying Sa Li, his dagger left his hand. Letting out a tragic howl, Sa Li crumbled to the ground with an injured calf. The men on the trees were all jumping down and joining the men from the hut and making their swift escape via the rear exit. Xiang Xiaolong casually strolled over and came to Sa Li who is still lying flat on his face. Using his leg, Xiang Xiaolong flipped his body over. Sa Li wretchedly begged, "Don't kill me." As the firewood hut dissolved into a huge ball of fire, it clearly illuminates Sa Li's cowardly expression. It was as ugly as a toad. Feng Fei blew her top and immediately fired all troop members who are in cahoots with Sa Li or are spying for him. Tying Sa Li securely like a giant mummy, Feng Fei is going to deliver him to the King of Qi tomorrow morning and demand justice to be served. By the time Sa Li was escorted away, it is already past midnight. Feng Fei requested Xiang Xiaolong to accompany her back to the main building. When they are alone in the small sitting room of the upper floor, Feng Fei retorted with sarcasm, "I thought Manager Shen is so sick he was confined to his bed." In the blink of an eye, he had slipped out with Xie Ziwan to have a good time and even showcased his mighty prowess in capturing a villain and delivering justice. Xiang Xiaolong is completely drained of energy and is leaning against his chair. He simply remarked, "I saw your lover just now." With her back to him as Feng Fei glanced out of the window, she calmly replied, "From tonight onwards, Feng Fei no longer has a lover and will never have one in the future." Xiang Xiaolong can detect the sensations of grief and pain in her tone. He sighed, "Aren't you overreacting?" Feng Fei shook her head and denied, "You would not understand. I did bring up Zhang Sun Long's issue to him and implored him to intercede for me since he is the elder martial brother of Zhang Sun Suanhua, but he flatly rejected me. At the same time, he swore to me he would never meet Zhang Sun Suanhua privately. She melancholically added, "Feng Fei's heart is dead and only wishes to find a secluded place and live the rest of my life in tranquility. I want nothing to do with all the fame and glamour." Xiang Xiaolong bitterly smiled, "That is my ideal dream as well." I have grown sick of all the wars and revenge killings. Feng Fei turned her petite frame around and stared at him viciously, declaring, finally willing to tell the truth? Feng Fei already guessed you are such a man. Xiang Xiaolong cannot be bothered and offered, whatever. If mistress is agreeable to letting second mistress become your successor, I can guarantee that mistress will realize your dream. Feng Fei challenged, on what basis are you offering this guarantee? Xiang Xiaolong smiled, based on the 3 words, Xiang Xiaolong. Is it sufficient? As Feng Fei's fragrant body shuddered uncontrollably, her eyes are shining with utter disbelief. Bewildered, she gazed at Xiang Xiaolong for a long time before collapsing onto a chair, exclaiming, you have got to be kidding me. Xiang Xiaolong bitterly smiled, if it is anyone but me, little brother would not be petrified upon seeing the poisonous ring when mistress came to ask about my illness and was forced to reveal the secret meeting between Han Ji and Zhang Sun Suanhua. With considerable embarrassment, Feng Fei lowered her head. Lost and confused, she muttered, Feng Fei did not treat you kindly, why are you still helping me? Xiang Xiaolong reasoned, mistress originally is not evil in nature. It is just due to constant interaction with people who are harboring evil designs on mistress. Thus, you do not trust anyone easily. Feng Fei dejectedly wondered, what should I do now? Xiang Xiaolong highlighted, earlier tonight, Lu Bue has learnt that Shen Liang is in fact Xiang Xiaolong's disguise. Therefore, continuing this masquerade is not beneficial but harmful instead. Tomorrow, I might as well seek an audience with the king of Qi as Xiang Xiaolong. By then, anyone who wishes to lay their hands on you would have to reconsider the consequences. Feng Fei was taken aback, aren't you afraid of being assassinated? Xiang Xiaolong boisterously laughed, if anything were to happen to me here, Qi cannot claim ignorance. I have grown to detest a life of lies and deceit. Right now, I miss my home terribly and my only wish is to return home as soon as possible to reunite with my wives and son. If mistress wishes to settle down in Qin, I can guarantee it will be done. With hot tears flowing down her cheeks, Feng Fei softly grieved, Feng Fei's heart is dead. I shall adhere to great general's arrangements. Before Xiang Xiaolong could accumulate enough sleep the next morning, someone roused him from his slumber, saying that Zhang Sun Suanhua is waiting for him in the main hall. Recalling S.A. Li's issue, he had a good grasp of the situation and proceeded to the hall to meet Zhang Sun Suanhua. As anticipated, after a round of pleasantries, Zhang Sun Suanhua immediately went straight to the point, little brother has an inappropriate request and prayed that brother Shen will grant this allowance to my Zhang Sun family. Xiang Xiaolong knows what he is up to. After observing Lu Bue's attitude towards himself last night, Zhang Sun Suanhua is now having a better opinion of him. Moreover, Xie Ziwan is a good friend of him as well and has decided to back down from the flying dagger issue. Now that Xiang Xiaolong has a chance to do Zhang Sun Suanhua a big favor, he smiled, with brother Zhang Sun's words, I, Shen Liang, would never disagree. S.A. Li will be handed over to brother Zhang Sun and no further words are necessary. Meaning that there is no need to say thanks. Zhang Sun Suanhua did not expect Xiang Xiaolong to be so easygoing and reached out with a hand of friendship, brother Shen is now my buddy. Stretching out his own hand to grab Zhang Sun Suanhua's hand, Xiang Xiaolong affirmed, little brother has always regarded brother Zhang Sun as a friend. Before Zhang Sun Suanhua could reply, Fei Chun barged in with a flustered expression and reported, Qin's imperial uncle Lu Bue is here to look for manager. Zhang Sun Suanhua did not expect Lu Bue to really come looking for Xiang Xiaolong. Moreover, Xiang Xiaolong had openly hinted he did not wish to see him. Utterly shocked, he stared at Xiang Xiaolong in a daze. Patting his shoulder, Xiang Xiaolong assured, brother Zhang Sun should have guessed that Shen Liang is just an alias of little brother. Let's have a detailed discussion in the future. With skepticism written all over his face, Zhang Sun Suanhua slipped out from the rear exit. Lu Bue's grand arrival has every single troop member buzzing with excitement. Except for Feng Fei, who has seen it coming, the rest are still feeling puzzled. The moment this world-famous Qin imperial uncle stepped in, he requested to speak with Xiang Xiaolong privately. Once everybody else has retreated from the hall, Lu Bue let out a long sigh. Xiaolong is truly amazing to disguise yourself as Shen Liang and hide yourself in Lin Ziai. Xiang Xiaolong plainly questioned, have I caused imperial uncle a great deal of disappointment? His two eyes flashing a chilly aura, Lu Bue stared at him and promised, Xiaolong, why are you speaking like this? The crown prince is worried sick over your survival. Now that I have ran into Xiaolong, I will definitely do my best to protect and escort Xiaolong back to Xianyang. I am here today to ask about your plans. Xiang Xiaolong concluded, we shall discuss about it later. Now that I do not have a valid reason to continue my disguise, I hope Imperial Uncle could officially notify the King of Qi about my presence and allow me to seek an audience with him. After a moment's contemplation, Lu Bue sighed again. Why did our relationship degenerate to such a terrible state? Xiang Xiaolong sarcastically replied, it doesn't seem like I am the correct person to blame. Lu Bue conceded, it is my fault and I only wish to know if there is a way to redeem our relationship. As long as we work hand in hand to assist Crown Prince Zheng, all the lands would eventually end up as Qin territory. Xiang Xiaolong had a big shock. He knows Lu Bue's character extremely well, a strong-willed man who always rises to the occasion and would never admit defeat or his wrongdoings in any situation. For him to behave in such a submissive manner, it only indicates that he has gotten a trump card and is temporarily making peace with himself. What formidable scheme has he formulated? Xiang Xiaolong plainly state, from the beginning till the end, I, Xiang Xiaolong, have always been a peace-loving man and was forced by circumstances to retaliate. The differences between the two of us can no longer be resolved by just bare words. Putting on an earnest face, Lu Bue clarified, Imperial Uncle would not hold it against Xiaolong for having such thoughts. Back then, Imperial Uncle had wanted to marry Niang Rong to Xiaolong, expressing my sincerity to repair the ties between us. That obstinate daughter refused to obey me and ruined my plan. Pausing, he glared at Xiang Xiaolong and slowly avowed, right now, Imperial Uncle will inform the King of Qi about Xiaolong's presence. Xiaolong, please give some thought about Imperial Uncle's words. Even if Xiaolong is unwilling to forgive me, Imperial Uncle has made up my mind to forget about all the disputes I have with Xiaolong. Time shall be my witness. After Lu Bue took his leave, Xiang Xiaolong is still sitting in a daze. He is 100% certain that Lu Bue has come up with a plan to kill himself, explaining his pretense at making amends. If he is unable to expose the murderous plot, he could incur a terrible defeat. Even if he, Xiang Xiaolong, is dead, as long as Xiao Pan is still alive, Lu Bue cannot consider his victory to be a complete triumphant. Thinking about this point, his entire body suddenly broke out in cold sweat. He believes he has discovered Lu Bue's trump card. It is the only but deadly loophole that can cause immediate and total devastation to Xiao Pan and him, Xiang Xiaolong, the truth behind Xiao Pan's birth. Via Zhuji, Lao Ai could learn about the process and could also retrieve the address of the couple who had raised the real Ying Zheng. After bringing the couple back to Xianyang and spilling the beans, not only would Xiao Pan lose the throne, Xiang Xiaolong himself would be found guilty of treason. But looking at it from another direction, if this had indeed happened, Qin Shi Huang would not have appeared in the records of history. Despite guessing correctly about Lu Bue's trump card, there is nothing he can do to stop it due to time constraints. He can only live according to fate and pray that history cannot be altered. Although he is adopting this mindset, his heart is still filled with anxiety, causing him much irritation. He nearly wanted to beat his own chest and shout out loud to vent the frustration amassing in his heart. At this juncture, Feng Fei came into the hall and gracefully sat down beside him. She suggested in a low voice, "Shall we make clear our intentions to Shizhen and the others?" Xiang Xiaolong suppressed his turbulent emotions and nodded in agreement. After several trials and tribulations, the affairs plaguing the song and dance troupe are more or less resolved. However, regarding his personal troubles, this is just the beginning. Presently, he has lost all interest to stay in Linzi and only wishes to return to Xianyang as early as possible and join hands with Xiao Pan to manage his AA identity crisis. How long must he wait before he can enjoy days of peace?